Hey guys, Thomas the Silly Jr. here, aka Mustached Tom, here to review a movie called I Trapped the Devil. So, this review is actually a little bit late, as there was just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of Let's Plays that I have going on, of course. If you're anywhere near recognized to my channel at this point, you know that I have 11 Let's Plays cycling through. Movie reviews. Endgame had happened around the time this particular movie came out, so I wanted to get that Endgame review out as soon as possible, because you know how people are. If you're even late by a second, no one gives a fuck. Oh, and just before I even begin the review, on top of that, I saw Chris Stuckmann's review on this movie, and he had the gall to say that he is one of those YouTubers that likes to give these smaller movies a chance. And I'm like, hey, I'm right here. I'm a smaller YouTuber who's been giving these smaller movies a chance in review for a long time, okay? If you go back through my history, you'll see that I have covered some smaller movies from time to time, but I can understand that Chris Stuckmann wouldn't recognize a smaller YouTuber. He can recognize a smaller movie when people are involved that he knows, but when it's a smaller YouTuber, nah, forget it. It's not worth looking into to see if there might be someone else. And now I'm gonna cover this movie, and it could be better. Of course, now I get to review it with an unbiased, or a lot more unbiased opinion. Unfortunately, I don't remember any of the characters' names. There was like an older brother. I'm also going off the top of my head. I don't have any notes for the movie. And these two other, his sibling and his girlfriend, are visiting for some reason, for like the holidays or for like Christmas or whatever. And eventually, after some discussion, he's like, I trapped the devil somehow. Like, that happens in the midpoint of the movie. I think that is kind of one of the issues, is that the sort of main focus of the movie doesn't happen until like halfway through the movie. We see him, this elder brother character, sort of go mad, be driven crazy, going throughout the various rooms of this house. There is a little bit of communication from the devil, quote unquote. And I definitely feel like that was probably the most underutilized part of the movie. You know, what the title implies is that the devil would be, I don't know, more involved. I would have liked to have seen more trickery with the devil, him like communicating with these three individuals at separate times, as separate people. You know, doing that sort of stuff. And more so over, again, I feel like more of this movie hinges on the performance of the elder brother, which I do think is good for him as his character, but again, I feel like the actual part of the movie that, you know, is indicative of the title is the part that is underutilized, so it's sort of a hit and miss on that part. So when things get going, he eventually grabs a gun and he's gunning around with his gun. The other two are freaking out. They don't know what to do. They had heard the voices. They're not sure. Something happens to the younger brother? Question mark. Like he dies somehow. I'm not even sure what happened. I don't remember what happened, unfortunately. And then, like, something happens to him as well, and then it's just the only person left when things totally hit the fan is the woman, and that's when we get the arrival of the police. And there's two of them. They're checking out the scenery. They also move down where this devil has been trapped, and he's like communicating with them now, saying to let them out, and the the leader cop opens the door, and I guess I'll say spoiler alert question mark, I don't know. A young girl comes out of the door and then sort of skips off into the distance outside. And the cops just sort of leave. The woman, I'm not really sure what happened to her. Like, she's like looking at the cop and just going, like, did something happen to her? I don't remember anything happening to her that would prevent her from talking. Again, I think that's the underutilization of the devil. Like, did the devil say something to stop her from talking? Did the devil do something to stop her from talking? It's very unclear. Did her tongue get cut off, or like something intense like that happen? I don't know. It could be any of these possibilities. And the fact that it's not even implied I think actually kind of hurts the movie more. When there's just that bigger gap of like, there are too many possibilities to even fathom a guess as to why she wouldn't be able to communicate. So there's that. But, you know, again, I do think that the performances from the three actors that we primarily see throughout the movie are okay. Again, I feel like if you're gonna go about making a movie about the devil, and if it's gonna be in the title, you know, you might want to consider writing around that actual idea more than not. So, as far as grades go, or a score, I would probably give it a 4 out of 10, or a 5 out of 10, somewhere in between there. I feel like it's halfway to being what it could have been. Like, it reaches the halfway point until it starts to get there. And even when it starts to get there, it's a little bit confusing as to some of the aspects that are happening. And again, that line between if it's too vague or if it's unclear, I definitely feel like, you know, it definitely misses that mark of like, you could surmise what happened, but in this instance, I don't think you can really. But I do appreciate, I will say, again, being a balanced reviewer, I do appreciate the reveal of it just being a girl that comes out. I don't know if that was supposed to be the devil in disguise, question mark, but I still appreciate it because the voice we do hear earlier in the movie is like this older guy character. And you sort of hear the shifting of the voice a little bit, but it seems to be consistently like that throughout the movie, I think, if I remember correctly. So I do appreciate it ending up being something completely different from what you would expect to be out there. So I do appreciate that little reveal at the end there. So again, I think I would go with a 5 out of 10. I think it's halfway decent to being a good movie. And I know that was a much shorter review, but nonetheless, that was my review of I Trapped the Devil. And if you did enjoy this review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You can comment, you can even go as far as to comment on Chris Stuckmann's video about this and say that Mustached Tom also reviewed this movie, just to make sure he knows that he's not the only one. Anyways, you can also subscribe. You can also check out the links in the description. They will head you over to my Discord server and the other to my Patreon page. Any donations are greatly appreciated. And until next time, everyone. Where's my stop? There we go. Until next time, everyone. Bye-bye.